Yeah, I think it's been a good summer. We talk a lot about trying to use the summer to create an identity for how you want to play. On both ends of the floor, build a foundation, build some habits. I think they've come in, been really good in terms of player leadership. It's been very competitive. Guys are new guys, younger guys trying to figure stuff out. So that gap the returning players had on the new guys is narrowed. It's made it more competitive inside of practice. So it's been really good. It's been really good. I think, like the way they work, like the way they compete. And at this level, everybody has talent. So it's really about mindset, mentality, building some of the, your resilience, your grit, your connectivity, those type of things. And again, really create an identity for who we want to be offensively, who we want to be defensively, and trying to build that. And when we'll come back in the fall and we'll really start with more of the granular stuff of the details of maybe, the kind of the nuances of it. So, they've worked hard. We've not, we're not going to keep them the full 8. I think it'll be about 6, a little over 6. They'll be here and then give them a couple weeks home and then back to work.
I talked with both Jabo and Robbie about this, but just how have you seen kind of the evolution of the team so far, just from when you first started back in June to where you are this week? How have you seen just the team develop and gel during that time?
Yeah, I just think you're seeing, guys' understanding of what we're trying to do increase. We've been able to touch a lot. We got a pretty intelligent group. They come in, they're attentive to details. They've utilized, on court, but the film. And I just think you're seeing growth, from all of our guys. Returning guys started off with obviously it's a huge gap. It's a chasm between them and all the new guys. Because even if you're a guy like, a Jake Wolf, who's, a 6-year at college, this system, the way we play is different to him. So he's having to learn, whether you're Isaiah Swope or Ryan Conwell or AG or the freshman, all those guys are going through their learning curves. But they've done a really good job. I think the veteran guys have done a really good job of helping coach the others, breathing life into them, infusing them with some confidence. And you can see it starting to take shape. I thought, today was one of our better practices of the summer in terms of how competitive it was. And, we had a lot of the returners on one team and a lot of the newcomers on the other team. And, you were out there, newcomers, took it to them. And that was, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And that wouldn't have happened, earlier in the summer. And we've, you're at this point of the year, you're just experimenting, trying different combinations, seeing how different guys play with different guys. There's no, you're not looking at any rotations at the moment, but just seeing the growth, the development. I think we have a group that has a chance to be different but really dynamic offensively, and I think we can take steps forward. Defensively, you look at last year, I think we were 30th in the country in offensive efficiency and 62nd in defensive efficiency. So we were pretty solid on both ends, but I think we can take a jump forward on both ends, and this group has a chance to be significantly improved on the defensive end. And in this league, you got to be to win a championship, and I think we have a chance to be a little more dynamic and explosive in a lot of different ways on the offensive end, and all the returners have taken a step forward. So I think each one of those 5 guys, Robbie's significantly improved, Julian is significantly improved, Jabo, Jay Kent, Mason Miller's had a really good summer. So those guys are really grown, and now this 7 new that are here, their evolution has been the most significant, but they've really done a nice job this summer of trying to pick up what we're teaching.
Yeah, when you're speaking about the newcomers picking up what you're teaching, I mean, Jabo and Robbie both said it's a process where you learn the offense and you learn because it's a faster pace than what you're used to when you come in from the outside. Looking at those newcomers, who would you say are some of the guys that have probably picked it up the fastest or that are almost ready to get going right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's the guy that's probably picked it up the quickest of new guys would be Jake Wolf. He probably understands we're doing the best of all the new guys, but you're seeing growth with each of them. I think last time we did this, the way we play is different because it's more conceptual than it is structure. And guys that are used to having the ball in their hands all the time, Isaiah Swope had the ball in his hands all the time at Indiana, Ryan Conwell had the ball in his hands all the time at South Florida, Jake had the ball in his hands a lot at Morehead State, and so then you come here and it's like, well, we don't play with one guy really dominant in the basketball. The ball moves and shifts, and the pace which we play at, and then not being ball dominant is usually a change, and how to read the game. And so you're throwing a lot of guys, and what we're switching defensively and what we're not, and how we play, and so the rules and on that end of the floor. So it creates a pretty significant cognitive load on guys that takes a while. But you're seeing guys start to develop. I think Jake, probably, like I said, he came in and he just is a really highly intelligent basketball player. He picks stuff up quicker than maybe some of the other guys. But the other guys are all starting to trend in that direction. You can see Isaiah starting to make better reads, understand what's going on. Ryan starting to understand better what's going on, and make the right reads. Like Ryan, probably was a little bit ahead with Jake, and now some of the other guys are starting to catch up. And but AG has done a good job as well, figuring out kind of where he can fit and how his game and how he can incorporate. Eli, really quick for a freshman. I mean, picks him up really quickly. JD missed. Jaden Daughtry missed, the whole, first month waiting to be cleared, medical thing, and so he started off way behind, and but you can make a case. I mean, today he might have been the best player in practice, right? So his growth here the last little bit has been tremendous. I mean, he's our best player, but he was today. Out there, probably our most impactful player, and then Derek Vorst and his growth and development, and he's coming along and starting to show signs of understanding, just simple things that man, you're like he's got a chance to be really good as well. So that's what iron sharpens iron, right? You go out there, you compete, guys get after it, and they're pushing each other, and that's how you get better. When you go up against really good competition every single day in between those lines, and you have to fight for minutes, fight for your spot, fight to start, to be in the rotation, whatever the case may be. We're gonna obviously adding a player here in the fall in Augustinus, but the 12 guys that are out there, it's as competitive as I've ever been around. We were really deep last year, but I think we're significantly deeper this year with more good players, and that's a good thing, though. That's what you want guys to feel, that pressure and that angst every day they walk in between the lines. Like, I got to compete, I got to fight, and these guys are coming for my spots. That pressure is a good pressure, and that pressure's on everybody. And because every day I walk out there, I'm like, man, this is really high level competition.
Every coach kind of has those goals, expectations of what they want to accomplish when they're going through practice. When you look at the last 6 weeks, what were some of your goals, expectations for your team, and do you feel like you've been able to hit those marks this summer?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always, there's practices and stuff that aren't great, but if you look at it in totality, I think, everything that we came in to do, we've done. We really tried to. I came this summer, and I think my first summer it was hard because coming from Division II, we didn't have summer access. So I probably did too much too soon, tried to rush it, and probably didn't do a very good job of being thorough enough teaching the basics. And with summer access, you have a much longer runway to get ready for the season than you do in Division II, where it's a smaller. But we also had, where I was, you had corporate knowledge, you had players that were there for many, many years, so there wasn't as much teaching to be done with at least the guys who are going to play. So last year I thought we kind of found a little bit of a groove, and we tweaked it a little bit this summer. I thought our best summer, but for us, we wanted to accomplish, look, foundationally, build habits. We haven't put a play in. We haven't, talked about a side out of bounds or an out of bounds under, or any kind of sets, or, like I said, any kind of real nuanced detail. But we have tried to do is, this is our identity offensively. This is the way we want to play. This is the type of pace we want to play with. This is the type of space we want to play with. These are the kind of triggers we run. These are the reads against this type of coverage, that type of coverage. Defensively, this is how our transition defense. This is how we guard the basketball individually. These are how we guard ball screens, or how we guard various actions, how we scramble. building baseline habits on both ends of the floor without really diving into, like I said, that more, esoteric nuance stuff that you're going to get to, when you come back in the fall. But I think, you go out there and watch us and they've understood, better than any group we've had so far, spacing concepts and the automatics, and they figured out kind of, better how to read each other, understanding triggers, spacing. Again, it's unique because you got guys that are used to having the ball in their hands the entire time, and now, okay, I've got to be able to give it up and figure out how to read the game and play without it some. And it's different because we use our bigs as the hub of our offense, right? I mean, Robbie and Jabo and those bigs, right now, Derek, JD's playing some 5 at his size and strength, and he can kind of play multiple positions. Those guys are the hubs of it. We run our offense through them, and everybody then kind of orbits around that. And I think, but you look at it, that's very similar to, whether it's Denver with Jokic or Miami with Adebayo or Kings with Sabonis, or, you kind of go down the list of guys. It doesn't, the Warriors do it with Looney and Draymond. And everybody kind of orbits around those guys as the hubs, and we've got some really skilled bigs that can shoot and pass and handle. And so those guys adjusting, reading the game, I think we have certainly on both ends set an identity. Now we got to really get into the details of what it's going to take for us to be successful in, I think what's going to be an incredibly, challenging, our non-conference slate, which we should announce here hopefully soon. We got one more game to get, and then certainly we know what the Valley is going to be and the 20-game gauntlet that's ahead of us. So a lot of work to do, but really pleased with where we are here heading into August.
You're a student of the game. You're a fan of the game. Sometimes you just have to sit back and you just have to enjoy. When you get that opportunity, although it's rare when you're coaching, when you get that opportunity, who on your team do you just sit back and you say, man, I like watching him play?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I mean, obviously watching, things Robbie can do at 6'10", and his ability to facilitate, and, I mean, he could, you can set ball screens for him and watch him come off and read pick and rolls and, invert offense like that, Swope when he gets going, and, we saw it firsthand. I didn't like it as much last December, but much more now. He can get, just absolutely on fire. Jabo, his ability to the way he understands the game, the defensive stuff he does, his defensive IQ is as high as his offensive IQ, just the subtle things that he brings to the table. But and there's things that Jew, his ability to his explosiveness, his ability to get himself by, just how fast he is, how tough he is defensively, the disposition and the combination of he's obviously got a good frame at 6'3", he's strong, he's got great feet, but man, just the disposition he has to not get scored on. It was a great thing today. They're competing, and he decides, which was smart. He's going to take Swope was going, and he said, all right, we're not switching with him. I'm through, and I got Isaiah, and you love that about him. And those guys are making each other better. And so there's a lot of times you sit back and guys you watch and do things, and you're just obviously, and you learn from them. And there's things we do that I'll see them do something that I'll be like, man, that's pretty smart. That's an intelligent deal. Let's adopt that. And they all do it, and Mason's done some things where I've been like, man, let's steal that or incorporate that somehow. And so it's been a fun group that way. But yeah, I'm trying not to zone out too much. But when I do, there's a lot of things out there to watch where you enjoy and you like watching those guys operate.
Summer access coming to an end. You're getting ready to cut the guys loose. Now downtime's important for them, also for you. What are your plans for the next couple of weeks away from the basketball court?
Yeah, I think I'll be traveling. I'll be going to visit with some coaches. I'm going to start going down to South Florida on Saturday, and visit with some good friends down there that one won a national championship. One was in the Final Four this year, and hopefully one NBA guy, and going to spend some time there. And I'll probably head up to Chicago and Alabama, different places here in this little window, to on break to visit with some coaches and friends and continue to grow. I think that's August for me. I'm not great with idle time, so I'll probably get a little bit of a break, and then but I'll leave the gala, and I'm on a 5 a.m. flight on Saturday morning to Fort Lauderdale, and off and running here for this. Basically about a 2.5 week break before they come back to school. So, but I'll enjoy that. That's to me probably the most fun time of the year, getting to sit down and myself get better and learn and certainly continue to come back and try as we want them to do. Come back and be better every single year, and same challenge for us as coaches. So excited for it. But I'll certainly, Natalia, make me take some downtime. She'll make me do something. I'm sure she won't let me just go travel the whole time. So I have to do something, and then before we know it, fall will be here, school will be back rolling, and season will be at hand, and it goes by as faster than you would imagine.
It's never too early to start talking about the ball tipping off in November, but for the casual fan that's never seen a game that come to the Holden Center this upcoming year, what do they expect to see, or what will they see when they walk through those doors?
Yeah, I hope they see a team that plays exceptionally hard. I hope they see a team that is really unselfish, is disciplined, is tough, is connected, plays the right way, plays for each other, has great kids that are great students that are engaging. I think it's a brand of basketball that people like to watch, the pace and the way the guys share it and the way they play for each other. So hopefully, the fans that haven't been out here will come out. And I think, probably an underrated aspect is, the quality of competition, and how good this league is, and the opportunity that to come out and not just obviously see and hopefully cheer for us, but to see, other, really good teams and incredible competition, night in, night out. That's what makes this fun. There's a lot of, when you look at it, coming here from where I was, there was a few reasons, but the number one reason was that, this competition, the Valley, competing in this league. And so hopefully fans will see all that. And I would encourage them, before they come to basketball, come to football, come to volleyball, come to soccer. Make sure you're supporting ISU athletics. But as we get to November, really, make sure you have your season tickets. I think it's got a chance to be a really good year. I think it's a great group of guys. They're engaging. They care. They represent, I think, everything we want, out of sports, out of young people. They want to be a team that gets Indiana State back to the tournament. And we got a lot of work to do. We have great humility about how difficult that's going to be. We know the challenges and what we got to kind of run through to have a chance to do that. But we've got a great group of guys that are going to give it everything they have. And I think it's a group that hopefully the community can wrap its arms around, support, and cheer for.